Well, hello, kids. Preacher Ricky here. Welcome back to our studies in Answers for Kids. We took a break to look at the Gospel and Halloween series. I hope you guys got a chance to watch that. And then, of course, we took a break for Christmas. And speaking of that, I hope you've all had a wonderful Christmas. And I'm sure that you're on your winter break now from school, and I'm sure you're enjoying that as well. But we want to get back to looking at Answers for Kids, where we try to help you guys understand some difficult things in the Bible. And you remember we started a series on looking at the 7 C's of the history, and we had gotten to about our 4th C. We had looked at creation, we had looked at corruption, we had looked at catastrophe, and we were looking at confusion. So by way of review, in the creation, remember God created the heavens and the earth, and He knew all the animals of the land and man. And then there was the corruption, which represented sin. Sin came in the world, corrupted the relationship that we have with God. And after the creation and corruption came the catastrophe. The catastrophe being the flooding of the earth, where God flooded the earth and He destroyed all man except for Noah and his 3 sons and their wives. So 8 people were saved. And God had told them, go out and repopulate the earth. And so all men that are here today came from that family of Noah. We're all related. There's only one race, and that race extends all the way back to Adam, because Noah came from Adam, and we all come from Noah. So while people may look a lot different and sound a lot different, we're all really just one race. And speaking of that sounding different, is where the confusion came in. Man gathered themselves together in one place, and they tried to build a tower all the way up to heaven. They wanted to find God or something, and God came down and He confused the tongue. He confused the languages of man and created 70 nations and 70 different languages. So that's where that came from. That's where the confusion came in. But from these stories, from these stories that we hear, everybody has the same stories. No matter where you go in the world, back in their history, there's some similar stories to the creation. There's some similar stories to the flooding of the earth. And they just name it different, but we find the one true story in the Bible. The Bible gives us the true account, and the true account of the flooding, the true account of the languages. So if you've ever wondered how many different types of people there are, or how many different races there are, there's only one race. We all come from Adam. We all came from Adam through the family of Noah. So let's don't get too much caught up on that. We may look different and we may sound different, but we all come from one race. Now, the only real difference that God sees in man, because He doesn't see the color of our skin or the languages of us, He only sees people as those that believe in Him and those that do not believe Him. There are 2 types of people out there. There are lost people and there are saved people. Those that don't believe in God and those that do believe in God. All right, so that's our lesson today. Is in just finishing up the confusion. Remember, the confusion came in that God brought different languages, but we're all still one people, one race. We all have the same blood. And speaking of that same blood, listen to what the Bible says in Acts chapter 17, verse 26, which is your memory verse for this lesson. It says, and hath made, speaking of God, hath made of one blood all nations of men to dwell on the face of the earth, and have determined the times appointed before and the bounds of their habitations. Otherwise, He determined which people group would live in various areas. He gave them the different languages. He scattered them into the 4 corners of the earth, as we call it. But the key thing I want you to hear here is that He had made of one blood all nations. So we're one people, one race, all related to each other. So you are my brothers and sisters. I am your brother, and we're just all one race. And we should all be able to get along, right? If we would all just learn to love Jesus as Jesus loved us. All right, that's our lesson for today. I hope you have time to take the lesson and even fill in the blanks of the paper that I've sent along with your food and the gifts that the ladies bring by each Wednesday. Hope you're enjoying those things as well. All right, I'm Pastor Ricky Allen Sr., praying for you guys, praying that you're doing great in school, praying that God's watching over and keeping you blessed, and looking forward to seeing you again in church. Have a blessed day.